ভাই
আপু লাইভ হয়েছে?
ইয়েস। Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Nafisa from Hassle-Free Education. So today is the fourth class of our Speak English in 12 days. So hope all of you are doing good. So if you can hear me and see me properly, can you please type in the chat box yes? If you can hear me and see me properly, please type in the chat box yes. Then I will be confirmed that you can see me and hear me properly. Okay, in the meantime, our course instructor, Mr. MD Asan Habib sir, is going to join in few minutes. So before that, I would like to hear from you if you can see me and hear me properly. If everything is okay from my side and your side as well. So I can see some comments. Tufail Ahmed saying yes. Ion saying yes. Thank you. Riham saying yes. Ittifaq saying yes. Thank you so much for your cordial responses. So today is the fourth class. So how many homeworks have you submitted to our Facebook group? I think you know what the name of our Facebook group. It is UK Study Visa. Suppose so this is our Facebook group. That's why you need to submit your homework. We have shared the Facebook group link in the WhatsApp groups. Let me share in the YouTube chat box as well. So how many of you have submitted homework? Please type in the chat box me if you have submitted your homeworks. Please type in the chat box me if you have submitted your homeworks. Please type in the chat box me if you have submitted your homeworks in the Facebook group. Please type in the chat box me if you have submitted your homeworks. Okay, Ittifaq saying me. Thank you so much, Ittifaq, for submitting your homeworks. Okay, I would like to see more comments. If you have submitted your homeworks into our Facebook group, please type in the chat box me. Riham saying not me. That's not good, Riham. You should submit your homework. We have already completed 3 classes. Yeah. So our sir is here. So thank you so much, everyone. So over to you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening. Is depending where are you watching from. So first of all, I'd like to thank you. Thank you so much for joining your class today. And so you can see the whiteboard behind me because we are doing a training here for DET students. DET means Diploma in Education and Training. So these are the students, they are doing the courses and they would like to do the work placement with us. That's why we are helping them to get their 100 hours of work placement. So now they are on the break and this is my opportunity to communicate with you and take the class. So first of all, type in the chat box, how are you today? Very quickly, type in the chat box, how are you today? Okay, so last few classes we have shared it to you, we have taught you three things. Number one is how to introduce yourself, especially using the be verb. And you have done really well. Some of you have given the presentation, and some of you have promised me you're going to give the presentation later on. So if you haven't done that, so please do so. Give the presentation. যারা এখনো প্রেজেন্টেশন দেননি তারা অবশ্যই প্রেজেন্টেশন দিয়ে একটু এগিয়ে থাকবেন। Second class, we have showed you how to speak English 80%, whatever you want to say, right? Second class আমরা শিখিয়েছি যে কিভাবে আপনি 80% ইংরেজিতে কথা বলবেন। So that was the second class, and I have seen you have practiced with me, and at the end of the class then you have given a presentation as well, right? So second class was awesome. I have seen so many videos on Facebook group UK study visa and support, and I appreciate that. The third class, we have taught you, and we have shared with you, and we have practiced with you how to ask question. So আপনি যদি একবারে beginner হয়ে থাকেন, this class, it helped a lot to do a lot of things like how to talk and how to ask questions. So in the last class, I have asked you, what do you mean by language? And you said language means nothing but asking and answering. So now, this is the question for you. Can you ask and answer? If your answer is yes, please type in the chat box yes. I'd like to see how many of you can ask and answer. How many? So যদি আপনি জেনে থাকেন কিভাবে ইংলিশে কোশ্চেন করতে হয় এবং কিভাবে আনসার করতে হয়, that means you know the language. Probably you need to develop a lot. Probably that's not the standard of getting 6 in IELTS, but still you know the language, right? So that's the basic thing to learn a language. Now would like to share with you how to ask deep questions. So now I'm going to ask you a question is, so once you see that the police officer caught someone else, what they do? Type in the chat box. একজন পুলিশ অফিসার যখন একজন লোককে আটক করে, সো এরপরে তারা কি করে? So type in the chat box in English. It's called what? It's called interrogation, right? So after having today's class, you will be able to interrogate in English. আপনি একজন পুলিশ অফিসারের মতো আপনি আজকে ক্লাসের শেষে আপনি ইংরেজিতে ইন্টারোগেশন করতে পারবেন, যেভাবে পুলিশ অফিসার একজন আসামিকে বা একজন সন্দেহভাজনকে কোশ্চেন করে। So thank you for listening to me for last 4 or 5 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is we will take you to today's class, and before taking today's class, I will what is called, I will ask for permission. Can I share a story with you? So if you would like to know the story, please type in the chat box yes. I'd like to see how many of you would like to know my story. Just type in the chat box story. I'd like to show you the story. I'd like to share with the story so that you can understand what happened and how you can get the solution as well. So the story is all about, if you haven't, this story will help you a lot if you don't have the money to study abroad. যদি আপনার enough পয়সা না থাকে, কিভাবে আপনি ইউকেতে বা ইউএস অথবা কানাডাতে পড়াশোনা করবেন, that's gonna help a lot by listening to this story. So please type in the chat box story. So as I shared with you, অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আমাকে কোশ্চেন করে যে স্যার আমার তো enough টাকা নাই, কিভাবে আমি বাইরে পড়াশোনা করতে যাব? So that's the solution I'm giving you right now. Are you ready? So if you're ready, please type in chat box story. So as you knew that my father was a high school teacher and my mother was a primary school teacher, so they did not have that much money to send me to the UK to study at university level. However, I cracked the code, right? So what I did is, first of all, I gathered all the information. So how much does it cost? What I need to do? What sort of requirements I need to have? সবগুলো ইনফরমেশন কি করেছি আমি গ্যাদার করেছি। কত টাকা খরচ লাগবে, আর কি কি আদার রিকোয়ারমেন্টস আছে, ইংলিশে কি সার্টিফিকেট নিতে হবে, IELTS কত পেতে হবে, all the information I took. Then I processed in my brain. Then what I did is I didn't put pressure on my parents. I said I need £3,500 to study abroad. So can you remember in the first class I shared, so one of my students invited me to a seminar and I went there. Then I took all the information and then I asked a question. So can I get my money back once I finish this course? That was an awkward question. I meant to ask them, can I work and save some money, and can I get the same amount of money once I finish my course and once I come back to my country? That was literally that was the question, but I made a mistake. Anyway, so today's class you will learn specifically how to ask question and how to get the answer. So now what I'm gonna do. So the story is, so that's what I said to my dad. I said I would like to study at a university, and he said, "Can you afford it?" And I didn't give him too much pressure. I said I need £3,500 pound, and he said, "How much is that?" I said around 4.5 lakhs. So he agreed because that was not that much money. He had some sort of savings, and also my mom, she took some savings from her pension account, and that's what they invested in myself. And then what I did, I just put the deposit. And then once I came to this country, okay, so once you put the deposit, what happened is next you make the application, you get the visa, then you have got enough time to arrange the remaining tuition fees. So my tuition fee was 9,750 that time, right? So what I did, I put the deposit 3,500, and the remaining tuition fees, I said myself, I'm gonna go there and I'll figure it out how to get it. So once I get the visa, what happened? You see, right? So after you get visa pays up, if you ask someone else to help, they're gonna help you because they know you are flying to UK and you're gonna study there, probably gonna settle there, and then you're gonna make so much money. Probably next time they're gonna tell you that, hey, in your bad day I helped you, now I need help, please help me, or help my son, or help my brother, something else, right? So that's what happened when you get the visa. So এই £3,500 ডিপোজিট করার পর যখন আমি ভিসা পেয়ে গেলাম, then my dad, he asked help from my relatives, give me some money to invest in my son's education. So then what I did is I took 2,000 more what I borrowed from my relatives, and then I flew to the UK and I worked here. I saved some money, then I jumped into post-study work, then I applied for business visa, then I completed 10 years route, then I got settlement, and now I became citizen of UK. So that's the roadmap I'm sharing with you. So if you understood how I managed my tuition fees to pay the university and get into the university, came to the UK, then settled here, please type in the chat box roadmap. যদি আপনি এতক্ষণে আমি যা বলেছি যদি আপনি বুঝে থাকেন, আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান রোড ম্যাপ, রাইট? সো আমার রোড ম্যাপটা কি ছিল, যে আমার বাবা মার অনেক টাকা ছিল না, তাদের কাছ থেকে কিছু পয়সা নিয়ে আমি ইউনিভার্সিটি ডিপোজিট করেছি। যখন ভিসা পেয়ে গেছি, দেন রিলেটিভস দে কেম ফরওয়ার্ড, রাইট? তারা এগিয়ে আসছে, তারা হেল্প করেছে। and when I came here, আমি পার্ট টাইম জব করেছি, সামার ভ্যাকেশনের সময় ফুল টাইম জব করেছি, দেন মানি সেভ করেছি, দেন টিউশন ফি পে করেছি, দেন 2 বছরের ওয়ার্ক পারমিট, যেটা আপনি যখন পড়াশোনা শেষ করবেন তখন 2 বছরের ওয়ার্ক পারমিট পাবেন, সেই জায়গায় আপনি জাম্প করবেন, সেই জায়গায় ফুল টাইম কাজ করবেন, আপনার ধার দেনা যা আছে সবগুলো শোধ করবেন। then you have got some other opportunities. For me it was entrepreneurship visa, আমি entrepreneurship visa apply করেছি, business শুরু করেছি, then I got settlement, right? So please type in the chat box roadmap if you understand what I just said, right? So যাদের enough টাকা পয়সা নাই, still you can give a try. আর যারা খুবই brilliant student আছেন, if you get 8 or 7.5 or 8 in IELTS, you can apply for a scholarship. By the way, we don't deal that much with a scholarship, but you have got so many other opportunities like British Council scholarship, right? So if you have committed to yourself that you will study abroad and you will get settled here, you can do it, right? So there is no brainer, and this is not rocket science at all. So I will encourage you to think like that way as I did, right? So now just I'd like to ask you, how many of you get some sort of confidence listening to my story? Say me. আমি একটু দেখতে চাই যে যারা আজকে ক্লাসটা করেছেন এদের মধ্যে কয়জনে আমার স্টোরি শোনার পরে কনফিডেন্স পেয়ে গেছেন। প্লিজ টাইপ ইন দ্য চ্যাট বক্স কনফিডেন্স, quickly type in the chat box confidence. Okay, very quickly type in the chat box confidence. I'd like to see how many people got confidence after listening to my story. Thank you. Thank you for responding. So, Ayan Ahmed Sajid said, sir, please say something about IELTS. Okay. I will share a lot of things about IELTS, specifically for speaking. Other than that, we have got IELTS preparation course. So once you finish this course, then you will be enrolled to IELTS preparation course and you're going to do IELTS class. But before studying IELTS class, you need solid foundation, right? Solid foundation. What I mean by solid foundation is you need to know about the sentence structure, tense, grammar, voice, narration, whatever it is. You need to understand a lot of things. So if you do this course, you will build a solid foundation. And after that, once you do the IELTS course, you will understand more. You will find it easy. You will enjoy it, right? So make sure you stick to this class to build your solid foundation. Okay, so now I'm going to take into the class. Thank you for responding. So Zakir said confidence. Fatima, thank you for responding. Moiraki, thank you for responding. Nivya, thank you for responding. Hossein, thank you for responding. Hawk, thank you for responding. Shah, thank you for responding. Ali Khan, thank you for responding. Fatima Bingham said, your roadmap will work for Canada. Okay, Fatima, I would like to say something. The way you do anything, the way you do everything, right? So this is the first world, whether you'd like to go USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. These are the first world countries, right? It's almost similar. I wouldn't say same, it's almost similar. So you can do that. I know a lot of people, they get into Canada to study at different universities and they got settlement, right? So this is the thing, you got to be uncomfortable. আপনাকে কি হতে হবে? Uncomfortable. যখন আমি বলি IELTS রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে ফেলেন, তখন বলে না স্যার I'm not ready. You got to register yourself. Then take the challenge. Do it, right? This is how I need to do. So now what I'm going to do, I'll ask you a few questions. So can you please type in the chat box what was structure number 1? Structure number 1 তা কি ছিল? আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. What was structure number 1? So structure number 1 was subject plus verb 1, right? So we know how does it work. We give you this structure, subject, all the subject here, I, we, you, they, he, she, it, and then we practice a lot. For example, I speak, we speak, you speak, you speak, they speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, Tony speaks. And I explain to you why it happens, because it's third person singular number. যখনই আমরা he, she, it, Tony পাবো, তখনই আমরা কি করব? ভার্বের সাথে একটা s বা এর যোগ করব, s sound যোগ করে দেব, right? That was the first structure. So type in the chat box. What was the second structure? কিভাবে কোশ্চেন করতে হয় সেটা ছিল সেকেন্ড স্ট্রাকচার। সো আমাকে একটু লিখে জানান দ্রুত, what was the second structure? Quickly, what was the second structure? That was okay. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to type it and send on the chat box. Then we'll move forward. So second structure সময় বলেছিলাম যে you need to understand, you need to master it. So once you master it, you know how to ask question. So অনেক সময় বলে স্যার I have got some sort of problem, so while I'm going to ask someone else to something, you know, it takes a lot of time to make the sentence, to build the structure, then I deliver it, and by this time you know, probably the person goes away, right? So after the problem theke thake, so you need to practice a lot the second and third structure. So today we're gonna teach you, we will share with you, we will practice with you the third structure. So before that, I'd like to ask you, what was the second structure? Because it's related, right? So every class is related. It's like a shackle, right? It's a shikoler moto. So what I'm doing, just knitting every shackle, right? আমি কি করতেছি? Just সুতার মতো বুনতেছি. So it's related from first class to second class to third class. However, if you miss any class, it's recorded on YouTube. All you need to do is you need to go there and you need to watch the recorded class. Right. So the second structure was do plus subject plus verb 1. I'd like to see how many of you made it right. Okay, so Sajid said do plus subject plus verb 1 question mark. Excellent, Sajid. Moruki said do plus subject plus verb 1. Excellent. Eva said do plus subject plus verb 1. Excellent. Ali Khan said do plus subject plus verb 1. Ali Khan, you need a question mark. Make sure you put the question mark. You missed it. Do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark, right? So in this structure, we practice do plus subject I, we, you, they, he, she, 20, then verb 1, speak. For example, do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? This is how we ask a lot of questions, and I ask you a few questions and you answer me. So now I'd like to go a bit deeper level, because we are building our foundation, then building first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, 10th floor, right? So this is how our building going bigger and bigger and bigger step by step, right? So do plus subject plus verb 1. Now all you need to do is, for third structure, you need to put WS, right? আপনার কি করতে হবে? থার্ড স্ট্রাকচারের জন্য কিছু করতে হবে না, সেকেন্ড স্ট্রাকচারের সাথে একটা WS যোগ করতে হবে। So can you please type in the chat box WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. I'd like to see from everybody else. Do plus subject, WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So a lot of students send me private messages, because you have got my number, right? So they said, sir, I would like to know the whole roadmap, details, how to get into UK to study university or USA or Canada. অনেকে আমাকে পার্সোনালি মেসেজ করেছেন যে কিভাবে ইউকে তে, ইউএসএ or কানাডাতে যেতে হয়, in details আপনারা জানতে চান. So that's why you have got a good news, right? The good news is we have got a class. We have got a class for that. So after doing this class, you will know it exactly what you need to do, and also you will become an expert. What I mean by expert is you will become a student consultant. You can give consultancy to other students. So make sure you don't miss that class. That's very beautiful class, I would say, right? So who would like to attend that class and would like to become expert regarding UK study visa, USA study visa, Canada study visa? Type in the chat box visa. I'd like to see how many of you would like to become expert regarding UK study visa, USA study visa, and Canadian study visa. Make sure you comment visa. I'd like to see. So okay, comment visa expert. So after doing that class, you'll become a visa expert. So make sure you don't miss that class. So what I'm gonna do, I'll request my whole team from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and UK to give a presentation. And also, once you finish this presentation, you're gonna take a lot of notes. And once you finish this presentation, then you will have opportunity to ask questions. So what I'm gonna do, I will take you inside the Zoom. Now you are taking the class on YouTube. Is absolutely fine, because first class we have so many students who couldn't accommodate it here. So in the next class, what I'm gonna do, I will accommodate you inside the Zoom, and we will talk one-to-one with my consultant. And after that class, we'll do the class inside the Zoom, right? এরপর থেকে যতগুলো আমরা ক্লাস করব সবগুলো জুমে ক্লাস করব. I will request my team to give you the Zoom link. যখনই আপনি Zoom link পেয়ে যাবেন, next class আপনি কিসে করবেন? জুমে করবেন, not YouTube, right? You will come inside the Zoom, and it's better. I mean, if you do the video class, that's absolutely fine. So you can ask me question directly. Hey, what is this? What is that? Right? So that's I'm gonna promise you right now. So I can see a lot of students are typing like visa. Thank you for responding. And I can see you are not a spectator, you are a player, right? আপনি দর্শক না, আপনি খেলোয়াড়. So you got to be very active in this class. So as I told you, so thank you for responding. It was, the structure was WS plus do plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So if you know this structure, and if you know how to utilize it, and if you practice a lot, in a nutshell, you will be very, very comfortable to ask questions in English. Are you ready for that? Who is ready for practice? Please type in the chat box practice. I'd like to see how many of you would like to do practice with me. Very quickly, type in the chat box practice. Very quickly, please type in the chat box practice. Okay. Thank you for responding. Thank you for responding. Okay. Thank you for responding. So now I'd like to see how many of you really connecting with me, giving a response. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for response. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'll share my screen so that I can see exactly what we're gonna practice. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, got it. So now this is the structure. All you need to do is you need to follow this structure. So WS plus do plus subject plus verbal plus question. Excuse me. So WS plus do plus subject plus verbal plus question mark. Okay, so what are you gonna do? We're gonna practice. We're gonna make a lot of sentences. So if you don't understand, that's fine as well. Practice with me, and after that I'll explain one more time, and then you'll understand. So what are you gonna do? So all you need to do is WS means WS words, right? WS means WS words. So why, how, where, when, how long, which. These are the WS words. So what are you gonna do? We're gonna practice with this structure. So first of all, why? So we're gonna make some sentences using why the আমরা কিছু sentence তৈরি করব. So why do I study? Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? Right. So using why, we're gonna make 9 sentences. Are you ready? I believe you. I believe so. So আপনারা কি করবেন? আমার সাথে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করবেন। আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? আপনার সিকোয়েন্স ফলো করতে হবে। Why do I study? Why do we study? This is how, right? Okay. So now we're gonna practice. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start together loudly. Chile chile. I'm going to practice. Why do I study? Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? Okay, 9 sentences. So if you made 9 sentences, please type in the sandbox 9. আপনি যদি অলরেডি 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে থাকেন why দিয়ে, তাহলে একটু আমাকে চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান কারা কারা 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে ফেলছেন। Excellent, thank you for responding. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna give you a bit more challenge. What I mean by that is we're gonna make 9 sentences in one breath. কি করব আমরা এখন? এক নিঃশ্বাসে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why do I study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? Right. So this is how we're going to practice. So if you can make 9 sentences in one breath, that means you have done your practice enough. যদি আপনি এক নিঃশ্বাসে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করতে পারেন, তার মানে কি হলো? আপনি enough প্র্যাকটিস করেছেন। যদি যতক্ষণ আপনি না পারেন, keep practicing, keep practicing. Do it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, 500 times until you make it, right? So one more time you're going to practice with why. আমরা why দিয়ে এবার কি করব? এক নিঃশ্বাসে 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why do I study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do you study? Why do they study? Why does he study? Why does she study? Why does it study? Why does Tony study? Right. So if you made 9 sentences in one breath, please type in chat box 1. And if you couldn't make 9 sentences in one breath, please type in chat box 2. যদি আপনি 9টা সেন্টেন্স এক নিঃশ্বাসে তৈরি করে থাকেন, তাহলে একটু আমাকে কমেন্ট বক্সে লিখে জানান 1। আর যদি আপনি 2 নিঃশ্বাসে সবগুলো সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করে থাকেন, তাহলে আমাকে একটু কমেন্টসে জানান 2. I'm waiting for a response, right? So type in and deliver it. Thank you. Thank you for your response. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to move a bit further. Wow. How do আমরা কি করব? আবার 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। Are you ready? I think you are ready. So let's start. So how do I study? Same. আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? সিকোয়েন্স ফলো করতে হবে। Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. How do I study? How do you study? How do you study? How do they study? How does he study? How does she study? How does it study? How does Tony study? Okay, thank you. So now what are you gonna do? We're gonna practice one more time using how, but we're gonna make sure we're gonna make all the sentences in one breath, right? এক নিঃশ্বাসে সবগুলো সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. How do I study? How do you study? How do you study? How do you study? How do they study? How does he study? How does she study? How does it study? How does Tony study? Okay, excellent. So if you made 9 sentences using how, please type in chat box how. I'd like to see how many of you made 9 sentences using how. যদি আপনি 9টা সেন্টেন্স how দিয়ে তৈরি করে থাকেন তাহলে আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান how. Okay, thank you for responding. Now we're gonna start with where. So আমরা কি করব, where দিয়ে আমরা 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব এক নিঃশ্বাসে। Ready? Are you ready? If you're ready, let's practice together. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Where do I study? Where do you study? Where do you study? Where do you study? Where do they study? Where does he study? Where does she study? Where does it study? Where does Tony study? Right? So you made 9 sentences using where. Right? So if you made 9 sentences using where, please type in the chat box where. যদি আপনি 9টা সেন্টেন্স where দিয়ে তৈরি করে থাকেন তাহলে আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান where. Right? So next one is how long. How long? So now we're gonna make 9 sentences using how long. How long they 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. So how long do I study? How long do you study? How long do you study? How long do they study? How long does he study? How long does she study? How long does it study? How long does Tony study? Okay. So last one is which. So normally we use a noun with which. Normally আমরা কি করি, which এর সাথে একটা noun বসিয়ে দিই। For example, which country, which course, which university, which college, which school, right? So which company. So which এর পরে আমরা কি করি, সবসময় একটা noun বসাই। তাহলে আমরা এই জায়গা জিজ্ঞেস করব which university অথবা which country. Okay, let's talk about university. So now we're gonna make 9 sentences using which এর পরে কি বসাবো, একটা noun. Let's say noun is university. So which university do I study? Which university do we study? Which university do we study? Which university do we study? Which university do they study? Which university does he study? Which university does she study? Which university does it study? Which university does Tony study? Right? So if you made 9 sentences using which, please type in the chat box which university. Type in the chat box which university. I'd like to see how many of you made 9 sentences using one breath using which university. Now I'm gonna counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 W's word into 9. So 6 multiplied by 9, 54 sentences we made. So all you need to do is, this is your homework. You need to practice these 54 sentences at home. All you need to do is, you need to shut the door. You need to, okay, so let me say it again. You need to shut the door. You need to take a bottle of water, or a glass of water, or a cup of tea. Then you need to keep practicing it. Keep practicing it. So once you feel, now I got it, right? Economy party, then stop, otherwise don't stop. So make sure you keep practicing it. Right. So how many of you would like to practice it at home at least 20 times? Please type in the chat box 20. Type in the chat box 20. I'd like to see how many of you would like to practice 20 times this structure. Type in the chat box 20. So if you make 54 sentences into 20 times, যদি আপনি 54টা সেন্টেন্স 20 বার প্র্যাকটিস করেন, so how many sentences you gonna make? Please type in the chat box. যদি আপনি এই 54 sentences যদি আপনি 20 বার তৈরি করেন, তাহলে কতগুলো সেন্টেন্স আপনি তৈরি করবেন? আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানাবেন। Right? So dear students, I'll have to tell you the truth, right? So I didn't learn English until I have done my master's degree, right? So I mean, master's degree যখন শেষ করেছি তখনও I couldn't speak in English, I couldn't write in English. However, once I understood that there is no alternative way, there is no but learning English, then I started learning English, right? So master's বলতে পারেন মাঝামাঝি অথবা শেষ সময় আমি ইংরেজি শেখা শুরু করেছি। It takes 6 to 9 months, and some of the people they take 12 months. But if you are really committed, you will learn it. আপনি যদি committed থাকেন, আপনি অবশ্যই আপনি শিখবেন। Okay, so thank you. Zakir Hussain said 1080 sentences. আপনি যদি এই আজকে রাত্রে যদি আপনি 1080টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করেন, so do you think you will face inertia? জড়তা কাজ করবে মুখে? Will you feel nervous to ask question? Never, right? So all you got to do is you need to practice. So there is a um, there is a what is called wrestler. He was asked, "What's your secret?" And he said, "I practice one shot 1,000 times." Right? একজন রেসলার ছিলেন, খুব ফেমাস। তাকে জিজ্ঞেস করা হলো যে তুমি যে রেসলিং এত খুব ভালো করো, তোমার সিক্রেট কি? He answered that I practice one shot 1,000 times. That's my strength, and I know I'm not going to lose it. If I make that shot, no one can stop me, and I'm going to win. Right? So all you got to do is you got to beat him, right? That wrestler. You got to practice it 100. You need to make sentences 1,080 times. Okay, so promise me who is gonna practice and who is gonna make 1,080 sentences. Type in the chat box. I promise you I'll make it. Just type in the chat box. I promise you. আমি একটু প্রমিস দেখতে চাই কারা কারা এই 1080টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করবেন, এবং আপনাদের যে ফ্লুয়েন্সির যে প্রবলেম আছে, যে জড়তা কাজ করে, কেন সেন্টেন্স মেক করতে পারেন না, গ্রামারে কেন ভুল করেন, এগুলো সবগুলোই চলে যাবে। Got it? So now tomorrow class would be very, very vital. Don't miss it, right? So tomorrow class would be your roadmap to UK or Canada or USA. So you will have the opportunity to listen from my team. You will have the opportunity to ask question, and you will have the opportunity to get your roadmap. And after finishing tomorrow's class, if you don't get your roadmap, I would say you are very unfortunate. আপনার মতো হতভাগা আর নেই। So tomorrow's class would be all about your roadmap. Okay, your roadmap, not my roadmap, your roadmap. So details জানবেন, ইউনিভার্সিটিতে কোন কান্ট্রিতে কোন কোর্সে যেতে হলে কি কি লাগে, কত সময় লাগে, কি কি রিকোয়ারমেন্টস লাগে, টাকা কত লাগে, ব্যাংকে কত দেখাতে হয়, ন্যূনতম কত টিউশন ফি দিয়ে যাওয়া যায়, হ্যাঁ, আমরা হ্যাসেল ফ্রি এডুকেশন আপনাকে কিভাবে হেল্প করবে। সো দ্যাটস গোনা বি ইউর ক্লাস। And you might be thinking, I'm not going to UK, so why should I bother? Or I don't like to go abroad to study. Why should I bother? No, this is a class. So all you need is you got to give a presentation. So after finishing tomorrow's class, you will give a presentation as a student consultant. You will say, "Hi, my name is Habib, and today I'm a student consultant, and I would like to tell you how to get into UK university." Right? So you need to give a presentation. Then you're going to say, okay, there are 3 requirements you need to consider, and then regarding the finance, you need to manage or accumulate this amount of money, and this is going to be for this is going to be for this is going to be for this, and total you need to have this amount of money. However, you don't need all the money together. Now, all into this, you need to consider about the bank solvency, and you know how to show the bank solvency, and also you need to say how much deposit you need to pay, right? So make sure tomorrow's class is very, very important. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. If you miss it, you're going to be very unfortunate. Can you remember? I told you my story. So one seminar that changed my whole life, and that's why I'm here today. So tomorrow is your seminar that's going to change your life. So make sure you come to the class on time. You get all your questions written on the paper. You ask them. If you are what is called a bit nervous to ask in English, you can speak in Bengali. আপনারা যদি মনে করেন যে না আমি ইংলিশে কোশ্চেন করতে ভয় পাই, আমি একটু বাংলায় কোশ্চেন করব, you can do that as well. Right? So now today I'd like to ask you a question is, so how many of you got the structure? How many of you practiced? And now you are a bit confident how to ask question. Type in the chat box, me. আমি একটু দেখতে চাই যে আজকের ক্লাসটা করার পরে এখন কারা কারা কনফিডেন্ট যে আমি কোশ্চেন করতে পারবো, বাট আমি ফর্মুলা জানি, হয়তো কনফিডেন্স সহকারে বলতে পারবো না, বাট ইফ আই প্র্যাকটিস ইট I can ask question. Type in the chat box, me. So, the interesting thing is, As I told you in the first class, there will be so many students and they're not committed, right? And I can see you are committed. That's why still you are here. You are practicing with me. You are coming to the class on time. You are giving your presentation. And 6 to 9 months, you will fly to some other countries. And the people who are not committed, you'll see, they will suffer a lot in future. And some of my students, they come to me once they get the visa. We have, I think we have received over 65 visa right now. আমাদের 65 জনের বেশি স্টুডেন্ট ভিসা হয়ে গেছে অলরেডি। We have helped them actively, right? So তারা অনেক সময় আমার কাছে এসে বলে যে স্যার আমি প্রথম ব্যাচে মিস করেছি, তত সিরিয়াসলি নেই just I missed my 3 months. Then once I understood that I missed something very important, then I jump back and I listen what you said. আপনি যা বলছেন সেটাই করেছি। Now I'm in your London office and some of them said you picked me up from the airport, right? So that's a very important thing. Very important thing. You need to understand it. So don't waste your time, like 3 months, 6 months. Be serious, be committed right now, and give yourself 6 months to 9 months and get a better score in IELTS exam. Take help from us. Fly, right? So I know most of our students, they will be arguing with me. You know what happened now? Our students, they cannot, what is called, do the bank solvency. They cannot pay the ISS. Banks say they don't have enough pound, enough dollar. What a shame, right? That's my country as well. It's Bangladesh, it's our country, our country. আমাদের স্টুডেন্ট আমাদেরকে বলে যে স্যার ব্যাংকে এনাফ ডলার নেই, এই জন্য আমি NSS ফি দিতে পারতেছি না। So what we did, we helped them. We said, okay, we're gonna pay from here and give the money to the Dhaka office or India office or Pakistan office. That's how we are helping, generally from our heart, right? So you are living in such a country, it has got lots of potentials, but we don't know where it's going to explode, right? So it's time. Already you have decided, that's why you're learning English, right? That's a good decision. You made your mind in right way. Congratulations, right? Change your life. Change your life. Don't suffer a lot staying where you are right now. Get settled, help your friends, family members, others. That's what I do. I always say, if I help a student, the student is helping 3 families. He's gonna make a family here. He's helping his dad family and he is helping his wife's family. So 3 families getting benefit, right? So আপনি যখন স্টাডি করবেন, পড়াশোনা করবেন, শেষ করবেন, এই জায়গায় সেটেল হবেন, আপনি 3 ফ্যামিলিকে সাপোর্ট করতে পারবেন। আপনার নিজের ফ্যামিলি যে জায়গায়, এই জায়গায় যেতে হবে, বিয়ে শাদী করবেন, দেন আপনার বাবার ফ্যামিলি এবং আপনার শ্বশুর ফ্যামিলি। So make sure you understand that as well. But if you can't help yourself, you cannot help others. So help yourself. Help yourself means get a better score in IELTS exam, apply to the university, apply, work so hard, get settled, help others, right? So that's what you need to do. So now what I'm going to do is, so someone said, is there any other route to Canada without IELTS? So Nibir, I would like to request you, please learn English properly. Get a score in IELTS. It's going to make your life easier. আমাদের এই জায়গায় অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আসেন somehow 2 নম্বরে করে, right? And they escape this country because আপনি যদি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ না জানেন, আপনি কাজ করবেন কিভাবে, পড়াশোনা করবেন কিভাবে? তারা ভাগা মারে ফ্রান্সে, পর্তুগাল, some other countries, because their life is miserable here if you don't know the English. So best thing is learn English first. ইংরেজি আপনাকে শিখতে হবে, এটার কোনো বিকল্প নাই যদি আপনি বিদেশে যেতে চান, right? So and I'm proudly saying in front of you, I made the best decision in my life to choose a country where I'm living now. আমি আমার জীবনের সবচেয়ে বেস্ট ডিসিশন তৈরি করেছি এই দেশে আসার চিন্তা করে এবং এই দেশে সেটেল হয়ে, right? So make what would be the best for you. I cannot tell you. Make which country will be the best for you. I don't know. This is your thought. Keep thinking. It's going to help a lot, right? So now what I'm going to do, I will give you a presentation today. The presentation is, here you go. The presentation is, here you go. So do you know about hassle-free education? If you know about hassle-free education, say something. What do you know about hassle-free education? আপনি কি জানেন hassle-free সম্পর্কে? How do you know about hassle-free education? কিভাবে আপনি hassle-free education সম্পর্কে জানলেন? What kind of benefit do you get from hassle-free education? Right. So I'm so sorry. I need to share my skills. Otherwise, you don't get the topic. So, যারা IELTS এর student আছেন, so your class is started right now. যারা IELTS এর স্টুডেন্ট আছেন এইভাবে কি করবেন এক একটা টপিক নিয়ে খুব সুন্দর করে প্রেজেন্টেশন দিবেন and this is how you're going to improve yourself. So all you need to do is you need to give this presentation about the topic is hassle-free education, right? So do you recommend hassle-free education to others? If you do, please say yes. And why do you recommend them? কেন তাদেরকে রিকমেন্ড করবেন? সো আমি একটু আপনাদেরকে হেল্প করতে চাই যে কিভাবে প্রেজেন্টেশন দিবেন. So this is how you need to give a presentation. Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Habib from Hassle-Free Education. And yes, of course, I know Hassle-Free Education because I'm doing a course with them, whatever you say, right? So it's 8 o'clock at night. And in this class, we are learning a lot of things. For example, how to make sentences, ask question and answer. And also we are giving every single day a presentation. And this is how we are developing our speaking skill. So I know a lot of things about hassle-free education. They are the #1 student consultancy firm in the UK, US, and Canada, and they help students genuinely from their heart. They do not charge even a single penny for that. However, I don't know a lot of things about hassle-free education as they have got college in the UK. So by the way, we have got a college in the UK, right? And so I know hassle-free education because I was on Facebook and mentioned the name. For example, is Shujon or Vifi or Nafiza. They found me on Facebook and they invited me to do a course. It's completely free. They do not charge even a single penny. And yeah, I'm doing the course with them right now. So there are a lot of benefits I'm having from hassle-free education. For example, the course I'm having is about foundation in English. And also once I finish this course, I'll do IELTS with them. And once I finish IELTS and get a better score in IELTS exam, before that, I will start processing my student file as they do not charge even a single penny. However, they ask for a little deposit. So finally, I would say, of course, I recommend hassle-free education to others because they are the consultancy firm. They are giving this sort of services for completely free. I wouldn't know anybody else who can give this sort of service for free. And also I'd like to help others as well. And as hassle-free education has got a vision to help at least millions of students to get settled in different countries, and I'd like to support their mission and vision as well. Thank you for listening to me. Okay, so this is how I need to give a presentation. So if you would like to make your presentation, watch this video, watch whatever I said, and then make your presentation. Practice standing in front of the mirror, then give a presentation, and then record it, and then upload your video in the Facebook group, right? So that's what you need to do. You need to listen to me, and I'm going to guarantee you, if you listen to me, if you follow my instruction, in 6 to 9 months, your life will be changed. That's what my life has been changed. And that's why I can guarantee you. All you got to do is you need to follow my instruction. And I'm not giving you the theoretical advice. I mean, theoretical advice. I'm giving you the advice from my life, from my experience. I'm living in it. I'm living in it. So who can be the best person to help you? Who is living in it? So I'm here to help you. Make sure you take this opportunity and apply it, implement it, and change your life. So thanks for listening to me today, joining today's class, and I'll see you in the next class tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.